Brilliance Audio presents Where Have All the Young Girls Gone? By Leena Lehtolainen. Translated by Owen F. Weitzman. Performed by Amy Rubinate. I had just nodded off when the machine gun fire started. The sound of a Kalashnikov jolted me awake. When I opened my eyes, I saw muzzle flashes on the east side of the road, less than a kilometer away from our armored vehicle. "Should I try to turn around?" Our driver, Jere Numinen, asked his superior officer. Behind us, there was only darkness. The gunfire hadn't reached us yet, but the two four-wheel drive patrol vehicles in front of us were taking hits. They were carrying EU police officials too. We had all been participating in the opening ceremonies for the new UPOL-funded Afghani police academy near Jalalabad. Now we were on the road back to Kabul. Major Lauri Vala didn't have time to reply before the lead vehicle exploded. It was carrying two German police instructors, Helmut Lindemann and Ulrike Müller. A young officer was acting as their driver, but all I could remember about him was that his first name was Sven. The German's vehicle was the same as ours, a light armored RG-32 Scout. Rifle fire alone couldn't have destroyed it, and the shooters were too far away for their weapons to be very effective anyway. The road was supposed to be perfectly safe, but roadside bombs must have been the cause of the explosion. The French delegation driving in front of us stopped. The British team driving behind us was already backing up. Vala pushed his helmet down more firmly on his head. I had taken off my own, because the combination of helmet and hijab had been too hot. Now I fumbled around for it, even though it wouldn't be able to give me much protection from what we were facing. In the light of the flames started by the explosion, I could see the French vehicle opening fire in the direction of the assault rifle muzzle flashes. "They only have one weapon," Vala observed. I could feel the weight of my revolver in its shoulder holster. I felt like rushing over to the Germans to see if there was anything I could do. But that would have been suicide. Auntie and my mother had been right. Only a lunatic with a death wish would go to Afghanistan. I'd been an irresponsible imbecile to agree to come on this trip, and now I would never see my children, Ida and Tonelli, again. When Vala picked up a Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine gun from the back of the Jeep and slipped its barrel through the vehicle's purpose-built firing port, I found myself praying. I realized I didn't know to what god I was addressing my entreaties, the Lutherans or the Muslims, but the latter probably had a stronger foothold in these parts. Vala's face held a blank expression as he opened fire. The attackers were far away, and he was mostly just shooting as an intimidation tactic, but he emptied the entire 30-round banana magazine. The French continued to lay down fire, and gradually the distant muzzle flashes faded away. Beyond the flames of the Germans' blazing vehicle, the world was impenetrable darkness again. Vala pulled his submachine gun back into the vehicle and started looking for his satellite phone. Before he had time to punch in the code sequence, the telephone began to ring. "Moose." That was Vala's code name. He continued in English. Apparently the caller was the driver of the vehicle waiting behind us. New Scotland Yard Assistant Chief of Police Albert Shaw was the highest ranking of the officials who had participated in the opening ceremonies of the police academy. As Vala spoke, his subordinate, Numinen, reached back into the rear compartment. In addition to weaponry, backup rations, and water, the standard equipment in the vehicles included a metal detector. Vala cut the conversation short. I saw the door of the French vehicle open. Its driver also had a metal detector. "According to the Americans, this road was supposed to be clean. The French confirmed it with them too. How the hell did anyone manage to plant anything here? Don't get out," Vala ordered Numinen. "If the Parisian boys want to risk their lives, they can be my guests. I'm calling Baxter." Colonel Steve Baxter, of the U.S. International Security Assistance Force contingent, was in charge of safety for the foreign visitors participating in the police academy opening. Vala didn't hold back any of the English expletives he knew as he spoke with Baxter, and even dropped in a Finnish perkele too. Until now, everything had gone according to plan, and Vala had seemed cool as a cucumber, the type of guy to whom even a law enforcement professional could entrust her life. Now, he was furious that the plan had fallen apart. I watched the cautious movements of the young French officer with the bomb detector. He looked like a Halloween witch, dancing in slow motion around a bonfire with a modernized broomstick. Even though the Finnish soldier's ethic was to never leave a fallen comrade, we had been given strict instructions not to risk our own lives to save our companions. Ulrike and I had been responsible for training the female police officers, and we had become friends. I thought of Ulrike's strawberry blonde bun and the curls that were always trying to escape it, falling to her cheeks and neck. I smelled the stench of burning hair. I could only hope she had been killed instantly. It was just by chance that the Germans' vehicle had been at the head of the convoy. The second French soldier had brought out a foam fire extinguisher, but its spray didn't seem to be having any effect on the flames leaping into the sky. The Brits left their vehicle as well, to bring a more effective fire extinguisher. When Numinen tried to leave the vehicle again, Vala grabbed him by his upper arm. Numinen sat back down behind the steering wheel. Vala had finished his phone call.
Baxter doesn't know what went wrong. Fox Company from the 112th was supposed to be monitoring the road. No one can get a hold of them. Reinforcements are on their way. The choppers are already lifting off from the nearest NATO base, which is about 10 clicks from here. The cavalry will arrive, but very late. What did they say in those speeches today? The new police academy is an important step toward democracy and a spark of hope for a war-torn nation. Quite a fire from one little spark.
I didn't feel like responding. It's normal for people experiencing mortal danger to run at the mouth, but I wished he would shut up. I couldn't stand any more chatter. I had never felt so impossibly small and helpless as I did at that moment, looking on as the lives of 3 people faded into ash in the middle of a dark and desolate wasteland.